For the past 6 years, Mara Kranz has been an athlete on a mission. Mother of 4 boys, has competed in triathlons, Ironmans, swimming competitions, and other various sporting events, but has done so with a medical condition she has been battling for over 20 years, and depending on the severity, can halt a person in their tracks.
In my second pregnancy, I was diagnosed with MS, and I was horribly affected in the beginning. Like, I needed a cane to walk around. I weighed like 20 pounds less than I weigh now. I was just really, really weak. So I couldn't even do basic care of the children.
MS, or multiple sclerosis, according to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, involves an immune-mediated process in which an abnormal response of the body's immune system is directed against the central nervous system, which is made up of the brain, spinal cord, and optic nerves. MS took a toll on Mara, but it was one particular moment where she knew she had to change her whole life.
The oldest one, Alex, I'll never forget, he was about 2 years old. And Chandler was a little baby because I was nursing him 6 months. And Alex walked in and he said, "Can we go to the park today?" And I said, "Oh, Mama's too tired," because the fatigue was horrible. So basically all I did was like nurse the baby all day. That was the most I could do. And he stamped his little foot and he said, "Mama's always too tired." And he storms off. So of course I'm crying and feeling horrible. So I met with the physiatrist the next day. I set up an appointment, met with him, and he came up with a whole training exercise program for me to get stronger. So I really started back in exercise to get the strength up to take care of the boys, really, and to make my MS better.
The training program gave Mara her strength back and the ability to help control her MS, which eventually led to something new.
I was still, working out on my own and working out daily just for the MS, but then I saw the Belfast Triathlon. And I thought, oh, that would be fun. I'd never ridden a bike. I took the boys like mountain bike out on the road a couple times. I rented a bike from Side Country for the race. Yeah. And I had just started swimming again, so I just sort of started swimming to do the triathlon, and I loved it.
From there, the spark of competing turned into a roaring blaze. But with it, fire management had to be learned due to her medical condition.
Recovery is really, really important, and nutrition, I have found, is hugely important. Sleep. All of those things really make a difference. And the older I get, the more I need it also. And my body definitely does well with the long amounts of training. My MS does great with that. People say, how do you stay motivated? What keeps you working out daily? But I'm lucky, because if I don't work out, my MS always flares. So it sort of gives me reason to keep doing it.
When it comes to Ironman competitions, though, it's the little things that cannot be overlooked compared to other competitions.
The full Ironman, I always go 3 days early to sort of get used to the area, get sleeping normally. I always make my own food, so I always have a kitchen or something to either bring food or make food there. And then I learned to have a day or two after, because to get in the car and drive after that, it's just not good for anybody, I don't think.
Despite the challenges associated with them, one event sticks out in her mind.
I think my first full Ironman was my favorite. It was one of the hardest ones I've done, and probably reached some lows that I've never reached before. But finishing it and having all 4 boys, that was the one that all 4 were there. So that was just a very special race. And Lake Placid is beautiful. It's a great place to race.
The challenges of MS will continually pop up for the 51-year-old, but she has the motivation to push through.
Honestly, the biggest motivation was the boys, to stay healthy for the boys, because when little Alex said that to me, it just broke my heart, and I didn't want them to remember a mom who was on the couch all the time. I wanted them to remember an active mom. And if you ask the boys now, I taught them, all 4 of them, to ski. We've hiked Katahdin, all the boys have been at my Ironman and a couple of my half Ironman too, and Chuck has been there supporting me the whole way.
Whether Kranz is competing or going through a normal day, the uphill climb will always be there, but those challenges will never slow her down.